in Carmel's kitchen.
Awesome, awesome. And we're talking about health and hormones for women over 40, whether you're 40, 50, 60, but particularly in that perimenopausal stage. And we're talking about exercise and muscle.
Yeah.
And I've thought about lifting weights because I know that it increases your bone density.
Do you train?
Definitely not.
Oh,
I'd love to.
Okay.
I probably will after I talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so what do you want to know about exercise?
Okay, so number one, I don't know how to use the equipment, but number two, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right, okay.
And
do you know how much exercise Arnold or a female Arnold has to do? Like probably 3 hours a day at minimum, 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. And on top of that, the female Arnold Schwarzenegger has to have about maybe 4,000 calories a day.
Oh,
you'd be eating all day. Yeah, it's a lot of calories, a lot of milk according to him. Okay, so
what's the right balance? How do I get the healthy optimal amount of muscle? Because what happens about you lose muscle, don't you?
Yeah, so from the age of 30 you lose 1% each year. Yep. And so by the time you're 70 you will have lost 40% of your muscle mass. So when you lose that muscle mass, multiple things happen. You will decrease your I can't even say the word. I know,
metabolic.
Right? Yeah, it's the perimenopause. You will reduce your metabolism's ability to burn fat. So the more muscle mass we have, the better our metabolism burns fat. Okay, so that is yes, and you can't make muscle if you're not making muscle. So yes, you have to eat protein, but when you go into the gym, you can't just get on the treadmill. Treadmill walking, you're looking at I don't know if you're aware of your watch, but you've got zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and it's all about your heart rate variability. Right. So when you're in zone 2, pretty much it's like walking, okay? And walking is really good. It's great for your heart, but it's not weight bearing. Even though it's your body pushing down on gravity on the ground, it's not enough. You need a little bit of running's great. Jumping, that's also really good.
As long as it's okay on your knees, right?
Well, yes. So when you think about it, when you put on more muscle mass, you are protecting your knees. You are reducing the risk of osteoporosis because you're making your bones stronger. So Naomi mentioned in the break before about a family friend who finds it hard to get up out of their chair. They're over the age of 70 and they want to go overseas. So if you can't get up out of a chair without using your hands, we've got a big cross in front saying we need to take intervention steps. So we can start that from the age of 30 and we prevent the onset of osteoporosis and muscle mass loss because we don't want insulin resistance. You will have insulin resistance if you don't have enough muscle mass. We need muscle.
Wow. So muscle is linked to insulin resistance as well.
Correct, yeah. So insulin resistance is ultimately leading towards type 2 diabetes, diseases like polycystic ovary syndrome, metabolic disorder, mitochondrial dysfunction. They're big scientific words, but basically your metabolism is your muscle. The more muscle you have, you don't have to lift like you mentioned, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you do need 2 to 3 days a week where you are lifting to a point of closer to fatigue, 5 to 8 reps. We start with something, very basic, manageable. Honestly. Yeah, and 1 time a week. If you do 1 time a week for 4 weeks and then you build to 2 times a week, that's awesome. You don't have to go gung-ho because you will not do it forever. You need to do something that you can build to, that you can do forever. And so it is suggested by Australian standards and the World Health Organization, weight training 2 to 3 times a week and 150 minutes of cardiovascular work across the week. So that's taking the dog for a walk. It doesn't have to be crazy. And even doing simple things like going to the letterbox, not sending someone else, parking further away from the shops. It's those little extra bits that all add up. But the weight training, that is going to stop you from having a fall one day. It's going to save you from going into hospital and breaking a bone. I cannot say enough for the 30-year-olds out there listening. Yes. Prevent this onset of disease. You need to lift.
I'm going to be lifting.
You're going to be lifting.
So you were telling me in the break that you came this morning from teaching a class, and tell me about the class that you're teaching.
Okay. So I teach a class called Seated Seniors, and I had about 13 gorgeous people over the age of 65 to 85. And they literally sit on a chair and we pretend to put on a wetsuit to turn their core on. We have they have bands that they put around their knees, and they're ultimately creating resistance, and they're building or their bone density, and they run while they're seated, and they do cross-body activity, which is really important for their brain, reducing the risk of dementia, improving their cognitive expression. Yes. And they absolutely love it. It's 45 minutes of socialization, because then they go and have coffee afterwards. Although I know they had a quickie today, because then they went home to listen to me. I said, get in the car, you've got to listen to me. But honestly, like the 85-year-old lady, I don't think that she's actually really trained in the last 20 years, but she comes religiously every Friday. And it is so important, except when Probus is on.
Right. And do you have to book in?
Yes, you book in with me. Yes.
Okay, that's beautiful. So you can find her, Carmel, on socials, on Nutrition in Carmel's Kitchen.
You certainly can.
We'll talk a little bit more, but right now we just want to go to...